Well, I'm Argentinian, you know, right? I was born in
So Brazil. No! Gabon, get off my stand.
In terms of the clubs here in the UK, man, I've been following Man City for a while. They did have a few Argentinian players. Having said that, I've been 25 years in this country. That's why, I mean, I started to be more...
Yeah, but haven't you got... But agriculture is very rugby dominated.
Yeah, it is. In Argentina, rugby is actually...
Oh, of course it is, yes. Sorry, throw me in that hole.
No, well, no, but it's, we will have in August a game that is going to be played in Twickenham between South Africa and Argentina, because they do play what they call the championship now.
Yeah.
And they tend to do in the southern hemisphere, but they will come here just as an event. It's a good event.
Yeah. Are you going to go?
I will try to. I'm trying to see, because I got some connections with because the point is that you need to. Yeah, but I will try to. Absolutely. I'll try to be there. Yeah, it's a one in a generation.
Right. Shall we talk about business now?
Well,
otherwise we're both going to have a problem. So here we are, Cereals 2025. Can I just say, best stand? Just without question. I would just catch up with Ros Lloyd, and it's just phenomenal what you guys do. You knock it out of the park, and I'm not just saying that because you're next to me. I feel for Cereals because it's so difficult to lay it out, and everyone makes the same old comments about, oh, it's difficult to find your way around, but you can always find the NIAB stand.
Yeah. No, look, I couldn't agree more with you, and we put a lot of effort. We planned here for more than a year.
Yeah.
And why I think it's special, I mean, coming back to why people are really attracted to the size, because we do show all current varieties in a single place.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, the different breeders will have their own stand with their own varieties, which is, of course, what they do. But what you have here at the NIAB stand is the opportunity to see varieties, if you like, compare with each other.
Yeah.
And on top of that, we try to look as well into different nutrients regime, different fungicide regimes, and there's really a true informative stand for most of the attendees at either if you come because you want to understand about varieties, or if you come because you want to know how different fungicides are working. It's a right place to be.
I can't butt in because I heard a lovely quote. There was an older farmer with his son, and I overheard the father say to the son, right, we're going to the NIAB stand. And the son said, why are we going to the NIAB stand? What is it? It's like Wikipedia for cereals.
It is.
I was like, well,
that's a good way of describing it. And it's reflecting on the role we play in terms of being independent as well, which is always, it's part of our main value. Yeah. Integrity, how we work is important to be credible in the sector. Yeah. We have been doing this for more than 100 years, as you might know, and it's still, that variety selection and that aspect of informing the growers and supporting the breeders, because we work with both ends of that equation is important. It remains very, very essential to the work we do. And look, I'm really pleased this year. I think this year we managed to get in a very good spot, and we always like our stand, but this year I think I'll tell you it's particularly beautiful in the way we present it.
I'll give you all that rosette, but let's challenge you. The future. There's a view that plant breeding has reached a plateau, that no more can be done unless something happens along the lines of genetics. Is that a true statement? Should we be doing more with the soil? We've got the likes of, loads of questions coming in. The likes of vertical farming that's demanding to be able to grow seed varieties of wheat, soya, rice. There's so many. So what? Predict the future.
All this is true. There are many more things we can now use in terms of our operations and how we can get a profitable, if you like, a farming operation. Having said all that, still variety selection is 3/4 of all your decision space. When you decide on which varieties you're going to grow next year, you're fixing many parameters. That's why still that aspect of genetics remains important. Now, you asked me another question about where we are today with breeding. I believe that breeders have been fantastic in bringing new varieties, and the exercise of bringing a new variety is very demanding. Right? You need to go through very, very stringent processes, and they have actually matched this. We need more technologies, I would agree with you, and I think the new Precision Breeding Act that we have today in the UK as a way of freeing, if you like, unconstraining some of these technologies is a fantastic opportunity to keep improving varieties. The headroom, the headspace in terms of genetics is actually very large. That's why I remain optimistic.
Okay.
Having said that, there was a question today that was very interesting. Why, if breeders keep improving, we haven't seen an improvement in if you like, yields in the farm? Part of that is because we have seen other parameters changing far too quickly, and one of them is climate. And the other one is pests and diseases. And the third one maybe is how the market is changing as well, because the government policies are changing, the market responds to that. All of that has created this, almost a perfect storm where getting new opportunities to improve yields have been constrained. I think it's temporary. Again, we need to keep innovating. That's why, coming back to your point, that peak of technology maybe is achieved, but we do have so much in our toolbox. No, the only point I would say, let's make sure that the toolbox is available to everyone. Let's not put constraints that they are not necessary. I mean, the constraints out there in terms of regulation needs to be around safety, needs to be around protecting growers, but let's not add more than we need. Let's free ourselves to be.
You are truly Wikipedia.
Well, I'm passionate about what we do, and it's
And what do you need from us and the farming sector? Years ago, I used to be a farm trader, and I got frustrated that farmers would just hide behind their gate, and they wouldn't be curious. They wouldn't be curious about the future, whether that be machinery or new varieties. Do you find that farmers will only move if a number of their neighbours start adopting?
There is a bit of that, and we need to as well recognize that it would be unfair to ask growers and farmers to take all the risks. I think we need to take responsibility collectively. But one thing we see with our membership, for example, and is we have 2,000 members, is that there is out there a group of very progressive farmers, and we need to help them to show, if you like, the example for us to follow. I think we want them to engage with us, and we need to maybe recognize the other good thing we have in the UK, that we do have the opportunity of working with people like NIAB, but we are not the only one. There are many independent, and sometimes not independent, but organizations out there that are ready to help. We have been historically at the forefront of innovation. We still retain that in terms of science. I like to see much more of that science being delivered in solutions for growth. We are maybe not at the place we could be. I mean, and that's where I think we need to focus the next 10-15 years. I know that everyone will be talking about spending review today. It's good that we retain a level of budget for DEFRA, but we need to still remember that DEFRA's budget is fairly small. They could grow it a few more billions without affecting too much the big picture. I think science is one of our strengths. Let's make sure that we put it at the service of our economy.
Yeah, well done. I'm even more confident that the future is bright with NIAB and the collaboration that we must have with you. I know your team relatively well. I know you better now. I can see where you're going. I can see the strategy. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the opportunity.
No problem.
Good to see. Thank you.